It's not Tarek Skubal Day anymore. He was scratched from his start, but we're still going to have a great show going over the MLB card. And of course, we got two NBA and NHL playoff series starting tonight. It's going to be fun as hell. Join us, everyone.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Stride. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm trying to...
You can see me like Illuminati. That's what my man said right there. And it's true. You can see me like Illuminati. All right. Hi. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio, everyone. It's Monday. March, April, May 4th. we got a nice slate of 12 MLB games starting the week off here. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We got the beginning of two playoff series in the NBA and NHL, which is always fun, treacherous. I have Jimmy the Bags notes concerning what he thinks is likely to happen in those series. They are some interesting games. We won't waste any time talking about them right now. Some interesting situations, but when it comes up at the end of the show after MLB, tell us what you think. Let me get all my notes together. I do love looking at the market moves and sort of what the market is kind of telling us. And maybe I'm sort of like not doing that as much as I should in these shows. On Friday, we looked at the Tampa Bay game. And I was looking at the line moves. I was looking at when the line moves happened. And I was like, you know what? With McClanahan, even with Ray, going up against Ray in San Francisco as a dog, the market's telling us Tampa Bay is the right side here. Just because it won doesn't mean it was the right thing to do or a positive EV play, but it sure seemed that way, and it did cash. And so we're gonna be looking at the markets. I love looking at all that with you guys. See what the comment section has to say. Shout out Slaughter, shout out Super True Story, and Guillermo Zertucci. Pound baby. Can't wait till next Pubapalooza, even if it's quite a few bunch of months away. Yeah, Super True Story, Mr. No Brainer. You know, a lot of times when Scooble is starting, there's no brainer stuff involved. He was scratched though, so I don't know what we're gonna do about that game. But all my opinions and bets on that game totally scratched. We'll look at it briefly, and then we will move on. Let me just quickly pull up my my odds screens here just so I can get to them. Shout out to everyone. Get all your notes together. Oh, and there was also a bunch of games today with some weather issues. I'm not exactly sure how that's all going to wind up playing out, but that definitely affects the pitcher props that I like to give out and I like to bet because if a game is delayed in the middle of the game, of course, a lot of times, which and there's like 3 or 4 games on today's card where it looks like there's a legit possibility of an in-game delay, which can really screw certain kinds of things up, and it's just a little bit hard to plan for, especially when you're betting these pitcher prop odds with huge juice involved. Makes things a lot more random, and so I'm not sure. I'm going to try to get updated information on it, but we'll talk about each game as it comes down the pike. Let me just get all my stuff together here. Just get everything. Shout out to everyone. Jermaine in the comment section. Tasmanian Devil. Shout out to everyone. Let us know what you think about all these games that we're getting into. We got 12, so we're gonna have to keep a brisk pace, but nothing too crazy. 12 MLB. Man, these series in the NBA and NHL playoffs very, very friggin' interesting. What are the Knicks going to do after a 50-point playoff win against the Sixers now with Embiid? But we'll talk about that. We're getting ahead of ourselves. All right, there is going to be a 5:40 MLB, a game Mets in Colorado. Everybody ready? Everyone got your notes? I think I got everything here. I don't know what I'm forgetting. Probably some stuff that I'm forgetting to pull up, but I'll do that during the show. Let's start right now. Mets in Colorado at 5:40 Eastern time. Sugano starting for Colorado, and for the Mets, Brazoban opener, and then Peterson. They're going with him again. He was getting hit as a starter, and when he was in relief, he was not getting hit quite as hard. So now they're trying to be cute and putting him in relief in like the second or third inning. I don't know. This looks like Peterson just looks like he's having all kinds of trouble right now. I'm not sure why we would ever think that he was going to have a better than expected start here. I mean, of course, they're doing stuff, mechanically. That they're working with a pitching coach, so it's entirely possible that he could figure something out. But in light of how he's been all year long, now he's going up at Coors. It's not great hitting weather at Coors, but it's not terrible either. So I don't know. He looks vulnerable to me. Colorado, of course, for a while they were way undervalued as a big dog. They did get swept by Atlanta in their last series, and if you remember that game where Quintana was starting, that was in one of these videos we were talking about. They were a huge dog there, and I was like, I'm not taking Colorado here, and I didn't take them in any of those games. Atlanta has a nice little lineup. I still in general like Colorado in spots, and I actually kind of like them here. But they are coming off of getting swept, and the Mets, all right. So they what they do? They won 2 of 3 at the Angels, the only team worse than they are in baseball right now. I think we take that with a grain of salt. And once again, Colorado is a dog with apparently a pretty substantial, at least on paper, starting pitching or first 5 innings edge as well. So I don't know. When Colorado was a huge dog earlier in the year, I thought they had some value, and they did. Seems like a little no-brainer that they would have some value here. At some point, the Mets might turn it around in a major way, and maybe they're in the beginning of that right now. But I'm going to need to see more than taking 2 out of 3 from the Angels to have me bet them as a road favorite at Colorado. So, I did take a shot with Sugano over 15.5 outs of plus money, plus 122. He could get hit. Mets have some names in their lineup, but more likely than not, I think Sugano goes 5 1/3. So I took that one. Sugano over 15.5 outs at plus 122. And then we'll look at where the market has moved, but you got to be thinking Colorado first 5. Why not? You tell me, comment section. Why would we, shout out just my 2 cents, Jermaine, why would we not be thinking at least Colorado first 5, if not full game? You tell me, comment section. Let's look at what's happening to Chris. Well, I guess one reason is just that lines moved in the Mets' favor. About 4 points, 4 cents, which is okay. Kind of interesting, I guess. Maybe some sharp guys are seeing some things that I'm not really seeing. Maybe they're seeing something that happened in the Angels series that makes them believe going forward. I mean, Colorado's no great shakes, but they're all right. I don't quite get it, and I don't quite get it. Brazoban will probably be all right. But then Peterson comes in. What's going on there? I'm just gonna I'll make it official. I'll take Colorado. I don't think I'm gonna do any first 5 cuteness because maybe Brazoban will be all right. Just full game. Rockies full game money line. They're a dog. Plus 122 is still a market wide line. BetCris has 122. There you go. A few other places, low vig places have 123, but all right, I'll make that one official as well. Colorado full game money line plus 122, and Sugano over 15.5 outs at plus 122 at Penny. I took that one. I mean, at Caesars, that's what that was. Penny was a little bit lower actually. Definitely had a lean to Sugano under 3.5 earned runs as well at like minus 125 or so. He could get touched, but he's been okay at home. So lean to Sugano under 3.5 earned runs at like minus 125, and official plays I'll take Colorado full game money line and Sugano over 15.5 outs at plus 122. Let's see what the comment section has to say, if anything here. Yep, shout out one cross, and let's see if the total has moved at all. Let's look at this. The winds. There's no real weather. Oh yeah, okay, not much. The total's gotten bet up just a little bit from opening. Shocker with Peterson in. Total got bet up. Imagine that. All right, so just those two things I'm liking, plus the Sugano lean. And then let's move on. Next one. All right, Boston, Detroit. It was Scooble, and now it's I don't even know who it is. Who's starting for these guys? Who is this? Holton. Who the fuck is that? Holton. All right, so I was going to take a shot with Tolley over 14.5 outs. I did take a shot with that at minus 162. His first start was great, and then he came way back down to earth at Toronto in his next one. I think he'll be all right here. Maybe not lights out, but all right. So I do still like that one. Tolley over 14.5 outs, even at like minus 165 or so. And then strikeout prop is interesting, but Detroit can be a bit tough to strike out, and he is still a bit of a unknown at this point in his career in this spot. So just took a shot with a totally over 14 and a half outs, like minus 162 is actually what it was. And just that, everything else was based on Scooble starting, which is not the case. Look at the comments section. Yeah. All right. So next game on the MLB card is Philly and Miami with Nola and Jansen Junk. Nola, of course, been subpar this year, and his last two particularly bad. His velocity he's not a high velocity guy, and so his mechanics are important. It's entirely possible that he'll figure things out and have a run of being good. But he definitely, his last two, they haven't been there. And Jansen Junk, kind of the opposite, decent this year, and then his last two starts were awesome. I'm a little bit confused by Jansen Junk, actually. He, his stuff, I see his stuff graded really high in certain places. He doesn't get strikeouts, but he still can be very effective. And I thought, Miami, first line I saw, they opened as a home dog to Philly, who of course has been winning since Mattingly took over. They've won 5 of 6. So because of that, it makes sense. But, I was thinking about Nola under 17 and a half outs. When Nola's good, then him going 6 is very likely. That doesn't look like where he is right now, although it's possible. And I was also no-brainer style thinking about Miami first 5, and at Penny, there's still a slight favorite, Philly. So, Miami first 5 was minus 104. The Nola under 17 and a half outs was minus 132. I think both of those are all right, but I'm gonna keep both of those as leans, not official recommendations, because Nola could figure things out. Of course, let's look at the market to see if anything moved significantly. Yeah, wow, look at that. Miami now the favorite. There you go. Wow. They were creeping down, and then right around 445, a big 7-cent jump to Miami. So now Miami is a small favorite. Philly opened as the favorite. So that's a big market move towards Miami, which is what I would have been I was a little surprised to see Miami as a dog like that in light of Junk's Nola's struggles. Let's look at the total to see if anything is interesting here. No, just a tiny move to the under, which makes some sense. Oh, probably be all right. He probably won't get crushed. And he could easily have a 6-inning 4-run start, which isn't very good, but still cashes the outs prop. So I'm not going to bet that outs prop, although it's definitely something I was thinking about. Miami first 5. I'm going to lay off that just out of respect for Mattingly and what Philly's doing right now with my uncertainty surrounding Junk's excellence over the last 2 starts. I can't really explain it. So it's going to be a total pass for me. Thinking about Miami first 5. Was curious about Nola under 17.5 outs, but total pass for me. And that's it for that game. All right, now let's move on. Next game on the card is Toronto and Tampa Bay. All right, tell me what you think about this one, because this is one of those opening lines that really didn't make sense to me. Toronto, Tampa Bay, of course, is again doing what they do, which is basically just winning. However, whatever it takes. They just swept San Francisco, 3 low-scoring games in that series, and now they've won 9 of 10. Toronto split their 4-game series at Minnesota, and they're all right. All right. I mean, they're good. Overall, they've been hitting and playing well. But Martinez, starting for Tampa Bay, just lights out this year, and it's because of his changeup that is just really effective. And until he stops being able to throw it like that, he should continue to have success. And then on the other side, you have Lauer, who is starting for Toronto, who could be okay, but is generally mediocre. So I was very surprised to see, Tampa Bay open at like minus 112. I was just surprised by that. Let me see what anyone is saying here. Yeah. So and the first 5 it was significantly higher than the full game line, which is what I would have expected. So I did take a shot with Tampa Bay first 5 minus 140. And I guess I'll shout that out here and make it a recommendation. It does make me a little nervous, I guess. But, Martinez should be able to continue to be good. Toronto does have a nice little lineup, And Lauer can be okay here and there, but Tampa Bay is a team that I trust. So I took that, and I definitely also took a shot with Lauer under 3.5 strikeouts at minus 127. He tends not to get strikeouts. Tampa Bay doesn't strike out that much. A little bit, Arizona does not strike out at home, and he got 4 against them, but also the Angels strike out a ton, and he only got 3 against them. So I'm willing to take a shot with with Lauer under 3.5 strikeouts. So those are two plays that I bet. I'll make those both official recommendations. Tampa Bay first 5 money line -140, and Lauer under 3.5 strikeouts -127. Although that one's definitely iffy. And then I also took a shot with Martinez over 17.5 outs at +108. It's down a little bit now, And again, if he's on his game, he should get to 6. And also his earned run prop was kind of high. Just not seeing why Martinez would not have another nice start here, although entirely possible that he couldn't. But just those two plays that I would recommend, I guess, that I bet. Tampa Bay first 5 team money line -140, and Lauer under 3.5 strikeouts -127. I think those are both okay. And then there's a lot of other plays that are related to that seem like they have some value. Maybe Toronto team total under, Martinez over 17.5 outs at plus money, Martinez under 2.5 earned runs just at -127. Although I saw it got bet a lot further down at Penny. All right, let's look at the market and see where this line moved, if at all. Yeah, it did move. Right, moved. About 10 or 15 cents in favor of Tampa Bay, which is, I guess, what I would have expected. I just can't really explain the opening line. Early stuff went towards Toronto, which might have been some kind of manipulation. Who knows? And then, All right, we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. I'm not really seeing like the big move when the limits went up, though. So that's concerning. But all right, I'm just taking those two things as things I would recommend, and then the total, almost total's exactly where it is right now, where it was when it opened at Chris 8, slightly juiced to the under, which also makes sense. All right, see if anyone likes anything, and Jermaine saying the Rays are 6-1 against left-handed pitchers this year. Yeah, and I bet you as a group those left-handed pitchers were a little bit better than Lauer. So we'll see. Who knows? Next game on the card is Orioles and Yankees. Shane Baz against Schitler. And my take on this game might surprise some of you, right? Yankees, of course, a juggernaut. Awesome recently. They've won, 9 out of 10? They dominated the first 3 games of the series, and Schitler's been friggin' awesome. Sometimes he gives up a few, but, more often than not, he's lights out. His last start was lights out. And I think there was a big move towards the Yankees. The first line was like -186 or so, right? And now it's up to like a 20-cent move towards the Yankees, which is understandable in light of everything. I can't bring myself to pull the trigger on Baltimore to win, although that is how I am leaning. I did take a shot with Shane Baz over 15.5 outs at -124. I think Rice is going to be out for the Yankees. I'm not sure. You should probably check that. But he got dinged in his last game, and took a shot with Baz over 15.5 outs, -124. I'm not sure the Yankees are going to be huge offensively here as they have been in the first few games of this series. And I think Baz will be all right, that's the only one that I really like. Schitler over 17.5 outs at -130 is also tempting, and I did take a shot with that. Although he could blow up at any time, but probably not going to happen here. So I did take a shot with both of the outs props. Schitler 17.5 outs over, and Baz 15.5 outs. I think I like the Baz one even a little bit more than the Schitler one. And I also took a small shot with Baz under 2.5 earned runs at +110. Believe it or not, even though the Yankees have been huge offensively and Baz is lights out, I like the outs prop a lot more than that earned runs prop. But I did bet the earned runs prop as well. And then, as far as the money line is concerned, I'm not going to bet it. But free play, I would chuck it on Baltimore. I might be wrong, but that's what I would do. All right, let's see. Jerry Davis likes Tampa and under. And, Jerry Davis saying that the Yankees are likely to hit Baz. We'll see. I like Baz just over 15.5 outs. And we'll see how it turns out. So again, a 20-cent move in favor of the Yankees, which is what I would expect. So it opened a little bit low. No, nothing on the total. Actually, a 5-cent move to the under. A little bit small move to the under at Chris. Well, that's pretty interesting. And we'll see. I think Schitler will probably be all right. And Baz maybe better than expected, or maybe not. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card: Cincinnati and the Cubs. Right. This one is one of the games that has some possible, it's going to be hot at Wrigley and a double digit wind blowing out, but also some possible rainstorms in the middle of the game, not at the beginning, but in the middle of the game. I haven't checked the most updated weather report. I definitely took a shot with running the first. Yes, minus 150, no doubt about that. If that one cashes, I'm fine with it. Chase Petty against Cabrera. Cabrera, first 2 starts this year were lights out, but his last 4 giving up runs, and Cincinnati has some nice bats. And then Chase Petty starting for Cincinnati. This is his first start in the majors this year, and his he was okay in AAA, but not great. Got a bunch of strikeouts, but also had walks issues. Was just pretty mediocre in the minors overall with some walks issues. So he should be vulnerable here for sure. The Reds have been playing well, but they're off a 3-game sweep at Pitt, and the Cubs, of course, rolling. A lot of big bats there. And I am leaning overs every which way in general here, except the rain, possible delays makes me nervous, but that, there's not going to be a delay. It's going to affect the run in the first inning. So I took that one minus 150. I think that's a good play, and maybe I'll just leave it there. Thinking about the first 5 over 6 minus 120 at Pinnacle, of course. And both of the earned run props for both these guys, 2.5 minus 162 for Petty. And I did actually take that one. Petty over 2.5 earned runs at minus 162, and Cabrera as well, 2.5 earned runs minus 127. But my favorite play, I think, is just running the first. Yes. All right. We'll look at the comment section, and we'll look at the and just my 2 cents. I'm on Cincy today. Yeah, they are a big dog. I would probably go that way, even with Petty, if I had a free play. It's just there's going to be probably the rain throws a monkey wrench into things. The wind and the weather throws a monkey wrench into things. And so shout out Nasty Nate. Let's see where the market has moved for this one, if at all. All right. Yeah, a small move towards the Cubs, which doesn't surprise me. They are awesome, and Petty sucks. Cubs definitely more awesome offensively right now than Cincinnati, and Cabrera, nothing great, but Petty, very, very questionable coming in here. So I can certainly understand the 10-cent move, the small move towards the Cubs, and then the total. See if total is just that actually, it's up about a half run. Opened at 11, up to 11.5 because of the weather there. But again, there is some rain that could possibly be coming in. So yeah, I guess as far as an official thing is concerned, I guess I'll just stick with running the first. Yes, minus 150, and that's it. Even though all the others are tempting. First 5 over 6, minus 120. Petty over 2.5 earned runs, minus 162. Cabrera over 2.5 runs, minus 140. All those very, very tempting, but I guess I'll just stick with run in the first. Okay. Yeah, Petty did also pitch well in spring training, so he's a question mark as well. All right, let's move on to the next one. Cleveland and KC. This is another game similar to the Cubs, where kind of hot, low double-digit wind out, but some chance of rain, and it's possible that the rain could come in the middle of the game, which could change things here. Waka has had it's Bybee against Waka. Cleveland took 2 of their 3 in their last series against the A's, and KC back home off of a 6-game trip. They swept the last 3 at Seattle, and KC is now hitting and winning. So I took a few things here. All right, Waka has had start off the year great, and then he had a couple of bad starts. His last 2 have been bad, and his last start, I wasn't necessarily expecting him to pitch well, but I did like his over 4.5 strikeouts prop, and he did cash that. This one here, the Cleveland first 5 team total over, believe it or not, at Pinnacle, right before the show, was just 1.5 minus 156. So I do like that one. I don't really see Waka. Waka, of course, could get better here unexpectedly, but I think he's going to struggle again. So I definitely like Cleveland first 5 team total over 1.5 minus 156. I like that one. And I also took a shot with Waka under 4.5 strikeouts this time. Under 4.5 strikeouts. Minus 141 at Penny. I could lose, but I'd recommend that. I don't like the spot for Waka. And I also took a shot with Waka under 17.5 outs at minus 103. That's another one I like. And of course, related, I would like the Waka over 2.5 earned runs as well. But those are just three things I'm liking. Definitely to start. Cleveland first 5 team total over 1.5. Waka under 4.5 strikeouts, and Waka under 17.5 outs. And then Bybee, I think he should be okay. I mean, Casey's definitely hitting now. I do kind of a small lean to Bybee over 4.5 strikeouts at plus money. And definitely Cleveland first 5. I don't quite understand why Cleveland was a dog. I like Cleveland first 5 plus 113. Let's check where the line has moved. Tell us what you think in the comments section about any of this. Let's see, bet Chris. And yeah, now it has moved back towards Cleveland. Okay. It's actually like a 5-cent move towards Cleveland, a 6-cent move towards Cleveland, full game at Chris. But I did see that the first 5 was more expensive for Casey, which I didn't understand at all at Pinnacle. So I'm not sure where the Pinnacle line is right now, but I will definitely say that I like that one as well. Cleveland first 5 money line plus 113. Should probably check to see where that is right now at Pinnacle just to see if that one has moved. But yeah, so a small market move in favor of Cleveland, which I understand. I'm not real high on Waka here. Rain could change things, and then the total, gotten bet up about a half run, which makes sense. I think Bybee probably will be less vulnerable here than Waka, but Waka should be vulnerable. So all those things I'm liking in this one. Let's see where this line is at first half. Yeah, look at that. I don't get it. KC is minus 113 full game, minus 130 first 5. All right. I like Cleveland Guardians first 5 plus 113 as an official play. Can't explain that discrepancy that I would have expect to be the opposite. Okay, and then the next game on the card. Let's move on. Milwaukee and St. Louis is another one where there are possibly some some storms during the game. Seems like it's going to be okay. And this one also it's going to be hot. It's double-digit wind out. And Patrick against Leahy. Chad Patrick from Milwaukee against Leahy. Patrick, good results so far this year, but bad strikeout to walk numbers. And Leahy just vulnerable this year overall. Just not good. This guy just doesn't really have it. Milwaukee is interesting. They should be better. They probably will be better. Vaughn is expected to be back, I believe, for this game. So that should help them, in the short term. Will it help them exactly in this game? I'm not exactly sure. But I definitely took a shot with, I really don't like Leahy that much. I took a shot with him under 3.5 strikeouts at plus 102. I think it's moved a little bit at Penny, but at Caesars it was 3.5 plus 102. So I definitely like that one. Milwaukee, Leahy should be vulnerable here. I'm not sure if Milwaukee quite has the firepower to reliably get to him. So that's the only thing that I really like. Leahy under 3.5 strikeouts. His outs prop 15.5 was tempting on the under, but too big of a favorite line like the minus 170s. Milwaukee's not hitting home runs. So when you have a guy like Leahy in this kind of weather, you want a home run hit and take advantage of it, which is not really what Milwaukee is doing right now. So just the Leahy under strikeouts prop is the only thing I think I will cite right now. Although running the first, yes, minus 112 at Penny is also a lean. Very, very tempting. Patrick gotten good results, but he should be more vulnerable. And even though Milwaukee might not be bringing much to the plate offensively in certain ways, they should be able to get to a guy like Leahy. So running the first at just minus 112 is something I did bet and probably has a little bit of value, I think. Let's look at the market and see if anything has moved in a notable way. Bet Chris, let's check this out. And yeah, right. About a 12-cent move towards Milwaukee, which is what I would have expected. Leahy really vulnerable. So it's definitely moving in Milwaukee's favor. That's what I would have thought. Although it wasn't really at the early market or early morning moves, but all right. And then let's look at the total. Yep, gotten bet up a half run, which is also what I would have expected. So, yeah, the Milwaukee first 5 team total over 2.5 and plus money was also something I thought about. I think, and all the, first 3 over 2.5 minus 120, first 5 over 4.5 minus 135. Thought about all those. I will say that running the first, yes, minus 112. I'll make that an official recommendation. Lay under 3.5 strikeouts plus 102. Make that an official recommendation. Market's clearly moving in Milwaukee's favor and to the over. But I'll hold off on both of those. And let's see if anyone, a shout out AOD. And Godfather says lineup confirmed. Vaughn is in there. And again, that definitely helps them. In this exact game, maybe not. It is his first game back, but definitely very nice to see that. Okay. Next game on the card is the Dodgers in Houston. This one, I think, is going to be a total pass for me. Tell me what you think, baby. The Dodgers, they did win their last game at St. Louis. Well done, but they lost 2 of 3 in that series, and in general, they're just not winning. They're 6-9 in their last 15. Yeah, I cherry-picked that endpoint, but still, 6-9 in their last 15, and here they are, again, a huge road favorite against Houston, who's, coming back home off of they split a 6-game trip at Baltimore and Boston, and they got Okert who's an opener, and then Ryan Weiss, the primary, and he's really not been good this year. So, the Dodgers should be able to take care of business here. Yamamoto, of course, not lights out, but solid, reliable, and good. But, I was looking for some way to take the Dodgers against Weiss because he's so vulnerable. Just can't pull the trigger. The line is just too high. It's just not justified as far as I'm concerned. I'll be very interested to see what the market has done with this one, but there was definitely nothing I bet and nothing I was even really leaning towards in this one. Let's see what the comment section what the market has to say about this one, if anything. Had to have gotten bet down a little bit. And yes, 3 cents, a 3-cent market move towards Houston. So nothing crazy. And for a while it had gone and so just some small bouncing around. Let's see when all this stuff happened. There you go. It got bet up. Yeah, it looks like, wow. The early morning stuff was on the Dodgers. There you go. Got all the way up to 213. And then right at like 1040, a big 20-cent jump back down to Houston. And now it's right where it opens. So I don't know what to make of it. Definitely a complete pass for me. And the total as well. About a 10-cent move to the over. Okay. I guess they think that Houston's going to hit Yamamoto maybe. Complete pass for me this game. Complete pass. All right. Next game on the card. There's another one that doesn't make sense to me. White Sox against the Angels. Martin against Soriano. Now, Soriano, of course, lights out this year, except for his last start, which was against the White Sox at the White Sox. He gave up 3 in that one. But Martin, great all year. Not that much worse than Soriano. And his last start was at home against the Angels. He outpitched Soriano in that one. But the White Sox have some life to them, and the Angels are just bad. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets. And they opened as like a minus 167 favorite against the White Sox. Really just did not understand that one at all. You do have, that weird situation where you have a team facing, a pitcher facing the same team twice in a row. And you have to be very careful about, betting the second starts to go as the first start went. But I do feel like Martin is probably, statistically, if that weren't the case, if we were just facing them a bunch of hitters, then his strikeouts prop over 5.5 at plus money and his outs prop at over 17.5 at plus money would have some value. Soriano, not sure what to make of him. I am a believer in him in general right now. But again, he had got touched a little bit. That was his worst start of the year. His first bad start of the year was his last one at the White Sox. And so this would be, as far as the full game money line is concerned, no doubt about it. White Sox are nothing at like plus 145 or whatever. And definitely leans to Martin over 17.5 outs of plus money and 5.5 strikeouts at plus money, even though that is how his last start went. He went over his outs prop, I think, in that one. And he definitely got like 7 strikeouts. I mean, the Angels are pretty easy to strike out right now. So, let's see what the 9 Legacy likes Angels run line. Holy crap. Godfather says, I really want to bet White Sox first 5 money line of full game. Tell me why I shouldn't. Well, first 5 is tough because you're going against Soriano, and I am a believer in Soriano this year. He got touched by the White Sox in his last start, but isolating a fade of Soriano definitely makes me nervous. But full game, yeah, White Sox or nothing. No doubt about that. Um, let's see where this market has moved and when, and see if we can glean anything from that. And yeah, of course, yeah, like a 12-cent move towards the White Sox since from opening. Now they opened to Chris minus 167. Now it's down to 150. White Sox were like plus 147. Now it's down to plus 133. I mean, that line was just a little bit ridiculous. And you know what? I will make that one an official recommendation, whatever. White Sox, even after the move, plus 133. You can get a little bit better at some other places, but White Sox plus 133. Look, if Soriano comes in here and throws a one hitter and the Angels win it 2-0, okay, I'll eat the dog loss, but just doesn't make sense. Yeah, market move towards the White Sox, and then let's look at the total here. Total, yep, gotten bet down almost a half run from 8 to 7.5, which is also what I would expect. Let's see, where are we? Let's see, yeah. And then as far as the Martin props, that is really tough. That is really kind of tough. You know what? I'll hold off on both of them, even though statistically, if you weren't facing them for a second time in a row, I would like both of them. Over 5.5 strikeouts at plus money, 17.5 outs at plus money. I'm going to hold off. Just very, very, still major league hitters and major league coaches in theory for the Angels. So let's look at the, White Sox it is. I took Soriano under 17.5 outs. Okay. Yeah. Soriano, look, second time facing him. Last start was his worst start of the year. In general, I'm a believer in him. He used to be a guy who pitched to contact, so he would get a lot of grounders and have lower pitch counts. This year, he's getting a lot more strikeouts, so maybe his pitch counts are going up. Shout out Spoons Bets. Okay, that's it for this one. Now let's move on. Atlanta, Seattle, another interesting one. Tell me what you think about this one. Another interesting one, but there is a good argument to be made for the seemingly head-scratching huge favorite line, which is what Seattle is here. Richie against Gilbert, right? Now, Atlanta went into Colorado and swept them, right? So it's always tough offensively to go into Colorado, go into Coors, have a big, offensive series, get a sweep, and then go into Seattle. That's a tough assignment, right? Seattle, though, they just got swept at home by KC, and Acuna is out for Atlanta. I know he wasn't doing well in general this year, but recently he was. And then Cal Raleigh is out for the Mariners, and he wasn't having a great year either, except for getting better recently. And now you got Richie going up against Gilbert. Richie, of course, had a great first start. His second start, he came back down to earth. He still I did take his outs prop over in that one at plus money, and that one did cash. He got it by 15 and he got 16 outs, and it was 15.5. He's also a Seattle area native, if you believe in that kind of thing. And he's definitely coming in here for pitcher-friendly ballpark. If you don't believe in that kind of thing, you're wrong. It is a pitcher-friendly ballpark. So Richie comes in here facing a lineup that, has not really broken out the way it should. In a pitcher-friendly ballpark, he's a Seattle area native. He clearly has the stuff to get major league guys out. And coming off of a second start where he came back down to earth. So I think he'll probably be okay here. I did take Richie over 4.5 strikeouts. Just minus 129 at penny. That one could lose, but I like it a good amount. Richie over 4.5 strikeouts at minus 129. And again, his over 15.5 outs prop at plus 115. I did take it. I took it. I think I like the strikeouts prop quite a bit more. But again, at 15.5 at plus money, couldn't not take it with Richie. We'll see how it goes. At some point, he's going to have a dud, but hopefully it won't come here. Or if it does, he gets the strikeouts anyway. And also, I was thinking Atlanta, first 5, maybe money line. The first 5 run line was just plus a half run at minus 106 at Pinnacle. And Gilbert's been all right, but nothing great this year. He started the season rocky. He settled down lately, but he's still not lights out. He always gives up a few. And Atlanta, of course, in general, a nice lineup, but it's a bad situation for them to, come off a sweep at Coors going into Seattle. So that makes me nervous. So I guess I won't, recommend taking the Atlanta first 5. Just the Richie pitching props. Although the huge favorite line for Seattle, definitely, all things being equal, did not make sense to me. Let's see if we got to pick up not that bad. No, we're okay. Let's see where this line has moved, if at all. A massive move towards Atlanta. Look at that. Yeah, a 40-cent move towards Atlanta. I didn't catch that. Yeah. All right. So a huge move towards Atlanta. It was open to Chris at -178, and then yeah, the 8:30 a.m. Yeah, by the overnight at by the yeah, by 10 o'clock last night, it had already moved about 18 cents at Chris, 15 cents in Atlanta's favor, and now it's moved another 20 cents in Atlanta's favor. So that makes me feel good about the Richie props. Let's look at the total here. The total, oh, up 5 cents or so, 5 or 6 cents. Okay. Cold Skull's gotten bet up about 5 or 6 cents. I can dig it. I mean, Richie hasn't been lights out, and Gilbert hasn't either. You know, let's see what people think here. Shout out Troy Torrance, baby. Great to see you in the comment section, baby. And there you go. Spoons Bets. Let me copy and paste. Spoons Bets likes the Marlins money line. Yep. At plus money. Yankees, first 5 -1/2. Okay. I don't hate it because Schittler, I think, is going to be good. I think Boz will be all right, but we'll see. We'll see. Royals Guardians, yes, over 8.5 -120. I already gave the opinion that I think it's not a good spot for Waka. Soriano over outs. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he improves over last one. I am a believer in Soriano in general, though. Going forward, and then Braves money line. Yeah, plus 143. Doesn't make any sense. I like the Richie props, and yeah, I'm going to hold off on the first 5 just because of the spot. All right, and then the last MLB game on the card is a total pass for me. Tell me what you think. San Diego and San Francisco. Vasquez against Trevor McDonald. Trevor McDonald coming up for AAA. It's because of scheduling issues that he's starting here, and he's a weird guy, right? He actually has major league experience. He was excellent in 15 innings last year. He was great. But then in the minors this year, he had some serious control issues. He wasn't getting strikeouts. So I don't really know what to expect from here. I kind of feel like I'd love to fade him. But again, it's just not clear what's going on with him. They brought him up for a reason. He does have eye-opening a bit success at the major league level. Then you have Vasquez, 4 awesome starts, 2 bad ones. His last one was a bad one. And I do lean Vasquez over 15.5 outs at minus 115. San Diego won their last game, lost their 4 before that. Before that, they had been pretty good. In San Francisco, back from an East Coast trip, they lost all 6 of those games. They scored only 1 or 0 runs in 4 of them. So they're really struggling. And sometimes the change of venue, especially when you're going home, can help, even if you're going home to a hitter unfriendly park, as is the case here. But, Vasquez, he's getting more strikeouts this year. I'm kind of liking him. And I did take a shot with over 15.5 outs, minus 115 Vasquez. Well, it makes me nervous because I don't really like the spot of no-brainerish fading San Francisco now coming home after such a bad road trip where they got swept and weren't scoring. So other than that, I made it a bet. Vasquez over 15.5 outs, but that's going to be other than that, a complete pass for me. I am curious to see where this line moved. Let's see. Here we go. Chris. Yeah. All right. Yeah. About a 5 or 6 cent move in favor of San Francisco from opening, but it bounced around a little bit. I can understand that. And the total, total dropped almost a half run. Just Vasquez is a bit of a wild card for me. McDonald, a huge wild card for me. The San Francisco lineup, a big wild card for me. So it's all going to be a pass for me, except I let it slip that I did bet Vasquez over 15.5 outs. And Godfather likes McDonald over 3.5 Ks. All right. Last year he had a 10 strikeout, 7 inning appearance in the majors. So why didn't they give him another one? I don't know. And if you look at his minor league results this year, just control issues and not getting strikeouts, but easily he could get over 3.5. So shout out Chappie Funk, baby. Robert Cherry. All right. Yeah, the Detroit, that game, I don't know if that bet is with Scooble in, but he has been scratched. Cubs money line. Yeah, Yankees first 5. A lot of people liking that one. Atlanta first 5. I agree with that one. And Philly first 5 minus a half. All right. We'll see. I mean, Nola's going to have to figure it out, which he easily could. All right, let's get into I got to bring up the Jimmy the Bag notes here. We got 15 minutes to talk 4 playoff games, NBA and NHL. First one, Philly and the Knicks. You guys tell me, what do you think? Of course, Knicks beat Atlanta in 6. And for anyone who's not following NBA playoffs closely, they won the last one by 50. That's a playoff game, right? Philly beat Boston in 7, and Embiid came back. They won the last 3 in a row. All's a dog. And Embiid obviously really helped them. So what I was thinking here was Philly first half +4, -111. What do you think? Is that a sucker play? I mean, how awesome are the Knicks? I don't know. I don't mean that rhetorically. I'm literally asking it because I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. I know they're deep, Philadelphia not. So I'll make that official, even though it makes me feel very, very nervous because the Knicks do look like they might be next level awesome at the moment, even though, Philly's better than Atlanta, I think, right? You tell me. Tell me what you think. Philly first half +4, -111, whatever. I'll make that one official, even though I feel very nervous about it. Let me see if I can find what Jimmy the Bag sent me. And as far as the market is concerned, nothing, no real movement market wide. Opened at 7, still at 7 for the Knicks. And as far as the total is concerned, yeah, about 2 cents, 2 points higher. Opened at Chris at 211 very early, but pretty quickly got bet up. And then by this morning it was already at 213. Now it's 213.5. So it does appear to be headed up, which is kind of interesting. And here we go. Let's see what Jimmy the Bag has to say about he likes the Knicks full game -7. Look at that. Jimmy the Bag likes the Knicks full game -7, -112. I mean, Jesus. If they can beat Atlanta by 50, why can't they beat Philly by 8? I don't know. I'm taking the Sixers just first half +4. Man, we're gonna need Embiid to show up and really hang tough there. But okay. Jimmy the Bag liking the Knicks full game -7, and looking at all all of his notes here, some very interesting notes here. All right, see if anyone in the comment section has anything here. Nasty motherfucking Nate like Sixers second quarter. All right, I hope you're right. I took Sixers first half. Yeah. Chappie Funk says Brunson will be shut down. Edgecombe best defender on Brunson this year. Yeah, Edgecombe is fucking awesome, man. The Knicks are deeper, I think. So probably if Philly comes to play, it's first half more likely than full game. Jerry Davis says if you play Philly, it's first half or nothing. We'll see. Yep. Edgecombe. Shout out Chappie Funk, baby. Great to see you in there. Godfather says +7.5 is a lot of points to give a second round. Sixers can keep it close. I know. But the question is, is Atlanta just terrible? Or the Knicks? Because the Knicks showed, I remember all year long, we were talking about the Raptors and the Knicks. It's just like the Raptors just can't hang. Like the Knicks are a fucking really good team right now, Can't quite tell exactly how awesome, but Jimmy the Bag likes Knicks -7. All right, next game, and I'm taking Philly first half +4, -111. Next game on the card, Minnesota and the Spurs. Man, I don't know here. I'm assuming Edwards is out for Minnesota. I didn't even check, but I'm just assuming he's out. And Minnesota beat Denver in 6. Their backups came and got it done. Spurs, they rolled Portland in 5. A huge line here. First line I saw was Spurs -13. Total was 217.5. And I was thinking maybe under, but last thing I saw was the total was getting bet up. Of course, it's going to be a Gobert against Wemby clash. I was thinking under. As far as the spread is concerned, who knows? Who knows? A huge spread. But all right, Chappie Funk like Spurs first quarter -3 in first half -5.5. Oh, Edwards is in? Oh, wow. Okay, he's in. So and I'm assuming that they're not just putting him in hobbled, they're putting him in with whatever substances might be needed to put him at 100%. All right. The under has got to be a good play here. And you know what? I'm going to give that officially. That would explain why it's gotten bet up a little bit. Look at this. And we're going to give it 219.5. Or no, look at that. Some play 220. Yeah. Should I take 219.5 -105 or just a full game or just 220 -110? We'll take 220. Under 220 -110, Place where we used to play poker is 219.5, but juice to the over, minus 105. It's everywhere market wide now. It's 219.5, juice to the over, or 220. And we'll take the 220, minus 110 or 108 at some places. Yeah, I'm going to take a shot with the under. We're taking the under. Tell me what you think about that comment. So, yeah, so there you go. Line is now down to 9.5 because Edwards is in. I understand it. And he probably does help him, even in his hobbled state. I'm going to take under 220 full game as an official play. Okay. Yeah. Eyeball 509 lays Wemby double. Okay. Chappy Funk say he's in a hyperbolic chamber. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he's going to be fine. Okay. Interesting. Now we got to, and let's see what Jimmy has to say. He probably wrote this before, whether it was still unclear whether Edwards is in. And yeah, no. Yeah. He's saying Edwards listed as questionable, surprisingly, and nothing from Jimmy the Bag on that one. All right, let's move on. We got two fun NHL games on the card. Here we go. Right. I'm sorry. At the beginning of the show, I said that Carolina Philly was the first game of the series. It's not. The second game, of course. Carolina, what a dominant friggin' team, right? They won the first game 3-0. Just dominant. They should roll again. They're a massive favorite, though. My God. And you could take the Philly team total under 2.5 if you want to lay minus 200, which might be worth it. I really don't know. It feels like one of these situations where it's like, what's Philly going to be able to do differently? Carolina, they're just so deep and they just roll at you. And Philly, nice team. I had some good reads on that series with the Penguins, but this is a different challenge right here. Maybe Philly will be able to do something when they're at home and they can strategize and they have, the lines and everything. But what adjustment they're going to be able to make to pull out a win here, to even score? Carolina is just relentless. They're vicious. I wish I could remember my Mike Tyson impression because I would do that when Mike Tyson was talking about how he would eat their children. Carolina will eat Philly's children if they need to. They probably don't need to. They'll just go up 2-0 and then skate it out. What do you guys think? Philly. Let's look at the comments section. Let's look at the market here. Yeah, open to 250, up to 275 now, but how high can this line really get bet? So the market has moved in Carolina's favor up to 275, open to 250. And, I would be betting that this one is, roughly going to go the same as game one. Carolina -1 probably has some value. Philly team total under 2.5, even at -200. Philly's going to get 3 goals on these guys? Doubt it. Coin LV likes Carolina under 5.5, -120. You know what? I think I might just make Carolina -1 an official play. And if they win at 2-1 or 1-0, take the tie. Yeah. I don't think Philly's going to be able to do anything here. Carolina is just too good. All right. I'm not going to be able to calculate the line right now. It's going to be a big favorite line. I'm going to make that official. Carolina -1 official play. And then Philly team total under 2.5. That's a pretty strong lean right there. Team total under 2.5, even at -200. And let's see what Jimmy the Bag has to say. I don't have it right here. I guarantee you Jimmy likes Carolina -1, even at the big favorite line. And no, nothing. Wow. Okay. No, nothing from Jimmy the Bag on this one. Pointing out that both teams were down, key players. Tippett was out, and the Hurricanes were missing Nikishin. Okay. A little bit surprised that Jimmy the Bag didn't see this as a smash and grab for Carolina, but I do. Taking it, Carolina -1. We'll see. Won't be that big of a favorite if it loses. It'll be a very big surprise to me, though. They just look. I just don't think they'll probably be more competitive, but Carolina just looks too good and too deep. Yep. Okay. And probably the first period over. The first period under is worth a shot as well. That was, it's just the first game. First game was the first period did go over. There were 2 goals in the first game, so that had me, not justifiably scared of throwing the old first period under on. Let's see what that line is total for. Yeah, 130, just 130, just 130. I'll add that one on there too. First period under 1.5 minus 130. That might be a scoreless first period. You know, Philly's probably going to come in and really friggin' D up and try to keep this game really low scoring. So I'm going to take that first period under 1.5 minus 130. Current line Pinnacle, and that's it. Now the nasty motherfucking 8 -1 is minus 180. Oh, Jimmy the Bag does like first period under an under full game. Okay. Next game, and then the last game on the card is Anaheim Vegas, and I did bet this one. This is the first game in the series, right? Anaheim beat Edmonton in 6. Vegas beat Edmonton in Utah. Both these teams can score, and I definitely took the over 6 at minus 128 when it came out. You know, they could lose, but you know, Anaheim scores, Vegas can score. Could easily lose, but I took a shot with the over 6 minus 128. I believe it's gotten bet up since then, and I'd also be leaning first period over as well. And then Vegas, you know, a huge favorite, which I understand, but just Anaheim, I don't. Anaheim's a tough fucking team, man. They beat Edmonton. You know, Vegas is good. Vegas is very good, but minus 170 against Anaheim, I wasn't seeing it. So I was also thinking about. Anaheim team total over 2.5 at minus 145. And, as far as a money line play is concerned, would be Anaheim or nothing. No doubt about that. And I was also thinking maybe I'll give it official. Anaheim to score first. Vegas has a not so good tendency of getting down. That happened in the Utah series, and then they come back late. So Anaheim to score first is probably it's definitely a dog line. Probably like 120 or so. I definitely bet over 6 minus 128. Let's see where this line is. Yeah, it's definitely gotten bet up. There you go. It's up to it opened at 115. I missed that one, but got minus 128. Now it's up to 6.5. So a full half goal move to the over. It's now 6.5. Juice to the over at Chris. And let's look at this the money line. It has to have gone back at least a little bit towards Anaheim, right? I mean, come on. Yeah, no, it's 160 still there. And in fact, it opened to Vegas minus 160. I got to admit, I'm surprised by that. Anaheim to score first, I'll make that a lean, but that's probably okay. That's definitely a dog line. I guess the only thing I'll say, I would go to Pinnacle and buy to 6 at whatever it is right now, whatever it would be like 145 or so. Just would make me feel a lot more comfortable than taking the 6.5. But that's got to be the way this one is going to go. Let's see where this line is. Yeah, 6. Not that bad. Yeah, minus 144. There you go. Exactly right. Over 6 minus 144. That's a little juicy. I got 128, but I do like that one. Gotta say, Anaheim to score first. Just not quite seeing why they should be that big of a dog. Anaheim to score first probably has some value. Anaheim team total over 2.5 minus 122. Why not? Let's see what people in the comment section have to say. Yeah, Nathan. Oh, Jermaine likes the under 6.5. Okay, that's interesting. All right, we'll see. Oh, and then let's wrap this up by seeing what Jimmy the Bag. I think Jimmy the Bag says he likes I predict he likes the over, and as far as the side is concerned, I don't know. And he likes nothing as of right now. Okay, he sent me his notes, but nothing in this one. I don't know if he's added anything, but nothing. Looking at his notes though, pretty high on Anaheim though. All right. So nothing from Jimmy the Bag at least as far as the notes that he sent me are concerned. I'm going to take a shot with the over. I got 6 minus 128. I would recommend buying a 6 at minus 145 or so. We'll see how it turns out. Jermaine like an under 6.5. Thanks so much to everyone. Great show. We'll see you on Wednesday.
It's easier to sleep in the black. When you're losing your ass and feeling so, you know what to do. Tune in to Pop Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride, you're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter, these shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Debbie and the fam, Dutch Wine Time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button, don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.